Hi guys, welcome to my video channel. Please press the like and subscribe button if you've enjoyed this class. Just kidding. This is the last day, last video. I think it's taken me an extra couple of days just because I've just been enjoying this so much. No, it's weird, man. You guys have to sit and watch me talk for a while, and I don't really know any of you. So come say hi to me and tell me if you enjoyed the class. Only tell me you enjoyed the class. I'm just kidding. Come say hi to me. My office is in Julian Hall 64 at this point. No, 60 at this point. So, come stop by and knock on the door. And I'm back at work now. It's not winter session anymore for me. So this last project is called Gyro and Gyrocollector. And you can see I've said the video's under construction right now. You're watching me construct it. So for this project, you're going to make this gyro program, which won't be turned in, so you don't really have to make it, right? And then you're going to make a gyro collector program, which is the last assignment. And in the other classes, when I teach this, usually I have an MP4, but I might be rethinking the entire class. It's definitely put it in a different perspective for me to teach it this quickly. I've never done this before, so thank you for being my guinea pigs, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So this gyro, this is it's like a floaty pen. Oh, I used to have a floaty pen in here. I don't have it anymore. But it's like there used to be these pens that they'd have like a little ship in them and they'd float back and forth. Your grandparents might have one. Boy, yeah, I don't have one. This is what we're going to make is something kind of like this. So if you go to this gyro floating bunny program, it's not going to work on your computer. So watch what I'm going to do here. And here it is, right? Here's the code. I'm going to go over it with you. But if you click on this, it's going to say click this button to request gyro and accelerometer permission. And your computer probably doesn't have that. My computer doesn't. So watch what's going to happen. I'm going to click on it. It's going to give me an error, not defined. Nothing's going to work. But if on your phone has this apparatus, and if you've got an iPad, it has it too. So this bunny will float around, and all this orientation data will change. So watch what we're going to do in order to make it work, right? So you can go to share. Yeah, if you go to share and then click on this full screen thing, you just click there, it'll copy it to your clipboard. And then I want to get that on my phone, and I am too lazy to type all that in, so I typed in QR code generator, and that just came up to make a QR code, so I don't have to, I can just run it on my phone, right? Some of you may be able to just transmit your URL from your laptop to your phone, but I can't for some reason. So I do this, and then here, watch what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my phone and put it on. I have an iPhone, but this works on an Android too. And I'm going to just put it up here on my camera, or I think you can use Snapchat maybe, and then it's coming up here, and so this is what it says here. Can you see? It's telling me I got to click on that button again. So I'm going to click on the button, and it's saying, oh, good, enter. And then it says rest granted. And then where's the bunny? Where did he go? Bunny, okay. So if I put, let's see, if I put this down here, you can see the bunny is floating around. So that'll happen on yours too. It's just like if I move it around, yay, bunny, 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 bunny. So if you look at this, you'll see that the orientation data and the acceleration data is changing. So let's see if I can show it to you there. See that? So so this is changing depending on, like, if I rotate my phone this way, one of these variables is going to change, and if I rotate it this way, a different one's going to change. And then if I rotate it this way forward, yeah, back and forward, it'll change. So I'm using all of this data here, so we can see like which one is this one. Like if I have it straight up like this, it's not really straight up. Yeah, if I have it straight up, beta is 104, and watch what happens. Like when I tilt it back, beta is go like if I tilt it completely vertical, my beta is 0. So that's the variable that tells me that I'm going this way. And then alpha, it looks like might be, oh, one of them goes like this. Actually, alpha goes like this. This is how we made in one of the classes we made a project where depending on where you're where which direction you're looking, it plays a different song. So we've got the code to that. If you're interested in that, you should hit me up for that. I don't think we did it in this class. Anyway, let's move on. So what do you have to do here? Just tell me what I need to do. So what you need to do is find this code. Okay, I'm going to stop it here. And you actually don't need to do this in the normal class. I make everybody do this code first, and then I make them. Then they have a choice of doing Gyrocollector if they want. So how does this work? This is actually very important here. The index.html in this program is different. It's got this button in it. So no, normally I tell people you have to copy the index, but y'all can just do this duplicate, right? And you can call it gyro, whatever. You can call it gyro if you want. I'm calling it gyro. The index is there. You can take a look at it. It's got that button. It says click this button to request gyro and accelerometer. You don't have to touch this, but it's different than the other index.htmls that you use. And then sketch, here, sketch. Let's take a look at this. So this is telling you, oh, make sure you turn on the orientation lock on your iPhone or Android device. So it helps you use this. And then there's some variables here. Look at this let bunny image. You can guess what that is. That's the image of the bunny. And then I've got X position, Y position. Here's a create canvas is going to the full screen. That's what window width and window height is. Here I'm loading the image here called bunny. And I normally ask the students to change that. Please change the bunny image into something else. And then just here's the light blue background, and I ask them to change that to here's that weird map function that you might have seen before. So what this is doing, what this is saying is that the gamma, like remember we talked about beta, beta goes this way. We'll talk about the beta map, okay? So what this is saying that is that except beta, beta is coming from negative 30, which was like this, to positive 30, which is this, right? It's negative 30 to positive 30. And it's saying if it's negative 30, I want to get a 0. My y position is going to be 0. If it's positive 30, my y position is going to be height. And so that's mapping negative 30 to 30 to 0 to height. That's what's making the bunny go up and down. And then same with the width. It's changing that. Like gamma might be this, and it's changing. It's making it bounce back and forth. Then we're doing a push, and then we translate the bunny. And then we stuck the bunny at 0, 0, but we're translating with X and Y position. And we're rotating it with using alpha. So alpha is coming in too. Alpha might be coming in like this. And that's it. Here's all the orientation data that you've got. That's it. These are the sort of listeners that read in the gyroscope data, and this is the accelerometer data. And so here you have a cool program. If you want to use it for something, you can put a different picture in there. I usually have students, put your own logo or your own picture or somebody who you like's picture and put different words in there. In the background, I think it says CTK right here. Yeah, right, CTK. So you could write your name back there or somebody else who you want to make this program for. You can use this. You can have it. What's really neat is to put this on GitHub. And I'm sorry I didn't teach that to y'all, but that gets complicated. But if you have a GitHub Pages, if you know how to use GitHub Pages, you can put all of these folders up on GitHub Pages, and they'll run. You'll have your own like little phone apps. And you can come and ask me how to do that. I've got videos on how to do that too. So that is gyro. And so this Gyrocollector program is going to be kind of the same thing. So I'm going to click on this. Going to go to this. This is the code that you really gotta you're going to have to turn this in. So duplicate Gyrocollector. I'll call it winter session. The index on this is different too. You can kind of see if you want to look at it. I've got a bunny in there too. And I'm going to run this code. So now if I run this, you guys can see, look at that, looks a little familiar, doesn't it? It looks like your MP3 code kind of, doesn't it? So what this is going to do is, if you run this, how am I going to get this on? I'll have to do the same thing. So share and click on full screen, and then go to your QR code, and then stick that in there. You can do your QR code. Oops, I'm in the way of my QR code. Here we go. You can run this and see. Let's see what happens when we run that. So you'll notice that if you run it, it says click this button, so you still have to click the button to give accelerometer and gyroscope information. And you'll see in the middle there is a little, there's a bouncing ball. Better move this out of the way. Oh, I can't. Okay, so there's a ball that moves depending on where your where's my ball? There it is. Where's my ball? There. Okay, so it's a green ball. That's your frog, and it's eating up the different machines and stuff. So now they're all gone. There's some words there, and if I want to restart it, watch this. I shake it, and then they respawn. Isn't that cool? So you're going to do, your assignment is to change these cars into something else. Whatever you were using for MP3, you could change them into that. And then to change the green frog into something else. So the let's get started, shall we? Winter session. So when I run this code, it's these things still run. The frog is not going to run around here because I don't have a gyroscope in my computer, so I won't be able to see the frog. It won't move, but these cars are certainly moving. So let's figure out what we need to do in order to change this so you guys can finish the class here. So here's a bunch of variables. So here I've got var cars, you guys remember that, and var frog position, you remember that. It's all same code from MP3. Here's our setup. Here's we're spawning 40 cars, same code. Here's the frog position, same code. Now here's where I was loading an image, and you could comment that back in if you wanted. That bunny image could be, I think it could be your frog, but you'll remember how to do that in a second. Okay, so we have image mode center, rect mode center, no stroke. Here's your draw function. It's making a background, a blue background. Change the blue background to something else. It'd be really cool if it was a photograph that you took. If you change it to a photo, don't use the background command, okay? Use the image command, image, and then so we've got image mode center. So you'd have to do whatever your image was. Don't make it this image is not going to float. And then you'll do width over 2, height over 2, because we've got image mode center. So that'll center it, and then you can do width comma height. That will make your image. You're going to need a my image. You're going to have to load, you're going to have to stick, up here var. Oh, look, I'm using var here instead of let. That's because this is old code. So, let or var my image, and then you'll have to do load image. Just kind of, here's a hint on how to remember how to do load images. You have to upload it into the assets. Boy, you could use the bunny image because it's in here. So that will make the background different. And then this map command, you don't have to change this really. What this is, you could kind of tweak it if you're not happy with the angle that this works at. You could tweak it a little and see what happens. It's really, right now it's saying take beta between 25 degrees and 45 degrees. So it's kind of neat. You'll be able to play the whole game like between 25 and 45 degrees. Maybe you want to change it from 45 to 90. You can do that. So that's there. Move the frog around the screen. Push, translate. You're not going to mess with any of this. Now here, your frog here's where you're going to draw your frog. So if you decide not to use this, you should decide not to use. Don't use this green circle, or I'll take points away. You got to use some kind of a picture, okay, with no background, a transparent background, and make sure you crop the picture. Oh my goodness, I got mail. You have mail. So comment that out. Give me a bunny image. You don't have to change any of this stuff. This might be big. Maybe you probably want to change this to 50, 50 or something like that. Okay, because 500 is pretty big. That'll be a large thing. That'll be a large frog. So, but this got to stay at 0, comma 0 because we're using this translate. So it's just this that you got to change. You're going to put an image there and comment out the fill in the ellipse. Then down here we're updating the frog's position using the accelerometer data, so that's kind of cool. You don't have to change it. And here we're iterating through the car loop. We're displaying it, driving it. I think your old code has move instead of drive, but this one's called drive. And then here's where we're taking the car out if it's 50 pixels or less away from the frog. And then here's the ATK, I think, or here's where I wrote, write that pretty, write that pretty type on the top. So right here it says your words or image here. I think it's, yeah, we should be able to see that. Yeah, there it is. So take your, put your own words there, or comment it out or something. Comment it out if you want. This debugging information, comment that out. We don't need it now. Okay, so comment. So remember how you can comment all this stuff out at once? You highlight it all, and then you can command or control /. If you do that, you can toggle it back and forth. I'm going to comment it out. Let's see, because that's debugging information. I don't need it now. Now I can't see anything. Uh-oh, what have I done? Got it. Some sort of error. My image is not defined. Yeah, of course. So I better comment that out. For you, it will be defined. Okay, good. Yeah, you look, my debugging information's gone. Cool. Make sure you take that out. Make sure you take that out. Okay? And that's the end of the draw loop. That's the end. There's nothing else. So what else? So somewhere in here we iterated through the car loop right there. So that's the meat of the program. So look at this. Here's a new function you haven't seen. It's called function device shaken. Do you remember how we have function mouse released and function touch started, and like I think we have a couple other cool functions, right? Device shaken, guess when that runs? When the person shakes their device. Isn't that neat? So we're going through the draw loop, we're, blah, 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 we're looping through the draw loop, and then all of a sudden somebody shakes the device, and that's going to stop wherever it is, and it's going to look for a function device shaken. Oh, there's one here. And so if that, oh, my disk is almost full, that's scary. So if the device is shaken, it's going to run this code. So look at what's happening. It's clearing the array, and then it's respawning 40 cars. Here is the stuff that you need for reading in the data, so don't change that at all. And here's your car class. So this is the second thing you're going to have to change, right? Or maybe the third, if the debugging, taking out the debugging information, changing the frog, and then you got to change this stuff. So here's your function car, and this looks a little bit different than the class that we use. This is a different type of notation that you can also define a class with in JavaScript. So you can write just function car. You can see it's a little bit different. Here's the methods. They say this dot display equals function. A little bit different than the other code that you had, but still basically the same. So these are the attributes. There's a position, there's a velocity, there's RGB and A here. You may have a this dot image, or you may change these around a little bit. Here's the display method. So the display method, maybe use an image here instead of these things. Here I've got a fill and the ellipse, 2 ellipses, the 2 wheels and the rectangle. Take this out and just put an image in there instead. So that would be, the image command. And then where would your position be? You'd have to have whatever image it was, car image, comma, and then this dot pos dot x, this dot pos dot y, and then you can have a size 50 comma 50, something like that. So you do that. That will be your image, just like in your MP3. And then this drive function, you don't have to change this at all. That's it. Okay, and you can test it here. And then when you're ready, when you see your things floating around here, you're kind of ready. Maybe your frog is broken and you'll have to debug that on your phone. Please remember that there are error messages here that are kind of useful. This one, look, is saying you just changed the value of alpha, which was a P5 function. This could cause problems later if you're not careful. You can ignore that. That's my error code here. And so that was this page. Other programs that are cool. And this is for you, when you grow up and tell your friends about this class. Face tracking tests. If you click on this, you can see what happened. This is the code for this, obviously. You can see, look at this. So P5JS will give you face tracking. I could turn off the video here. There's somewhere in here it's telling it to play video. You can hide the video and only have that red ball of the person's nose, and you can change that into something else. So you'd have some kind of apparatus that followed the person's nose. This is code you can use. There's a ton of really interesting code in the P5 community. Here's a video mirror. So let's see what happens when I play this one. Hey, that's cool. And somewhere in here, there's a rectangle, and there's no fill. You could probably there's fill 255. So gosh, if I wanted to make that red, now it's red. So you can kind of poke around in all of these, all of this code. And the last one here, the last one is temperature indexing into an array, and I'm not going to show that. We have come to the end of the class. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been very interesting to me to reformat the class like this. It's really been interesting to me to hear everybody say, "I've never done this before. I don't know. I'm scared," and then people prevail just by watching the videos and following along. So I'm really proud of you all. If you've made it this far, finish up your assignments. The assignments are in the ReggieNet area, and finish up any quizzes that you might find in the ReggieNet area too. I normally have a quiz every week, which would have been a quiz every day for you. And the reason I have a quiz every week is so I can throw some of them out. It's also interesting to me to find out what what you've taken away. And the quizzes are supposed to kind of make you understand what I wish you knew out of the class. So you can take them 3 times. If everybody flunks them, then I'm going to have to do something, that means I didn't teach what I thought I taught. So you can take each quiz up to 3 times, highest score is recorded. And that is pretty much all I have for you. Uh, Thank you for taking my class, and I hope you have a wonderful spring semester. And come visit me in Julian Hall 60 if you want. See you.